Okay, look at this. I have a C++ class, and it extends node, which is coming from a Godot header file. It has this function called SumOptimized function, and it returns chow. Then if I go to my Godot script, we can see we have example and SumOptimized function. And when I run my project, oh, it prints chow chow. That's because I used to have it saying chow. I haven't recompiled it yet. Let me recompile it. Build. Let's run it again. Chow. Okay, that's pretty cool, right? We have a whole C++ GDNative pipeline set up. No copying DLLs around. Everything happens automatically. And did you even know GDNative existed? So let's look at this project that I've created, Godot native example. That's what you just saw running. And this is a project that has a C++ GDNative example. Really, really simple. Just, you saw it prints chow. And then this project is really cool though because it has instructions to build that on all your platforms. So there I was using Windows, and even the software you're going to need. And this does support Windows, Linux, Mac OS, even those new annoying M1 chips. And more importantly, this project has an automated pipeline so that when you push your code back up to Git, it's going to build for all these platforms. You can see it doing it here. Okay, let's get started. And my voice might go a bit weird because I'm recording some of this late and then some of this in the morning. So don't worry about that. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's install the stuff we need. Let's install Git first. Click on the link here. You want to probably grab the 64-bit version. Just download it and run it. Say yes. Next, and just kind of click next for everything here. And next. Install. Finish. Now type in git bash. Should pop up. Then type in git. Yeah, works, cool. Okay, now let's install CMake. So click the link. You want to grab this MSI here. Run it. Click next. Now here you want to add CMake to the system path for all users. Very important you do this, else nothing's going to work. Click next, yes. Finish, open command prompt, run CMake, and yep, works, cool. Okay, next let's grab Visual Studio, click the link, grab the Community Edition. Let's run that, click yeah. Continue. And okay, now it's going to show you the install options. You want to click Desktop Development with C++ and also the CLI support. Now click Install. And there we go. That worked. Okay, now let's grab Python. So click the link. Download Python 3.10. Then when this pops up, make sure you click Add Python 3 to the path. You have to do this, okay? Don't forget. Click Install Now. Say yeah. Now let's open up the command prompt. Type in Python. Type in pip3. Okay, all working, cool. Okay, now we have everything we need, so we're ready to start. Let's copy this stuff. Enter it into the command prompt. And it's going to start doing its magic. I've pretty much set up everything for you. So there's going to be a script that just basically pulls down everything you need and builds the project for you right now. So let's speed this up. Okay, now we're done. So type in start, open up the folder, click on this GDNative example solution. And now let's check if the file is there. Yep. Now let's click build. And build started. Cool. It says 0 succeeded here because the script actually already just built it, but that means it's working. Cool. Okay, so now that we have it building, let's make a little change here. How about instead of chow, we say hello. So save that. Let's say build all, and then make sure we install it. That's going to copy the DLL into the Godot project. So you can see here we copied it in. Look, we copied it into app add-ons example, lib and DLL. And now when I run my project, it says hello. So let's explore the directory here. You can see we copied into here. Don't worry about the lib, that's not for anything. It's just the DLL you want. then we have these two other files in here. First you have the example GDNlib. This is going to tell Godot where to find the DLL. Don't worry about this, just kind of copy it as I have. And then you have to have example.gdns. And again, I'm not going to explain the structure of this. It's just what it is. But for every time you define a class in your code, so for here I have example, you need to create one of these and type it up like this. So if you created another class now, let's say class, let's call it example, example ample, and let's just copy this stuff. We have to copy these have to be here, but here we have no functions, just gonna be an empty class. And then here we have to export it, so we're going to call this example ample. Now let's build it. Okay, this has to be public. Okay, and again we got to install it. Now here I want to copy example GDNS and rename it to example ample. Edit. So here you can see we're linking it back to the DLL that we want to actually read it from, and we're going to call it example ample, and example ample. And now when we go to the project and I go to here, we can create example ample, and it's not going to light up green at the moment until you restart the editor, but don't worry about that. And here we're just going to print it and make sure that it doesn't come back as null. So example is some object. It is an example ample GDNS, GDNative script. Okay, so that's how you would create a new class. Let's do some stuff. If you want to pass in a class, right, you have to go like wrap everything in this ref template. So if I want example to take an example ample, I would go like this, ref example ample, and continue with my bad naming. I'm going to call it name, and whatever, this will be void. Let's do nothing. And so again, let's build. Oh, so it's complaining here that some optimized function signature doesn't match. So this is cool, right? This is compilers. They tell us that we messed up. So we can't have a duplicate name here. So this is going to be called some optimized function 2. Okay. And then we'd have to register it. Build, install, and then back in our code, we can now say, example dot some optimized function 2, taking in example ample. And it didn't crash. I'm going to take that as a sign of everything's good. So yeah, that's it. So if you want now to make a node, you could make this just extend node, and you'd have to include it up here. So let's say I wanted to make this a sprite actually. Then I would have to include sprite up here. This is C++. It doesn't magically have awareness of all the classes. So now I have a sprite, and then if we go to sprite here, you can control click on it, and you can see it has all the exact same functions as it does in GDScript, all the same signatures. Yeah, so you could just whatever, on an ish call, whatever. Yeah, let's flip it. Okay, so that's that. Yeah, and that is more or less typing stuff in C++ for GDNative script. Okay, next, let's talk about the CI stuff. So if we go into GitHub workflows, build YAML, you'll see that there's this GitHub action, which basically says for Ubuntu, Windows, and Mac OS, do the steps I just went through there and build it. If you want to do the same, what you want to do is go to the repo, and then over here where it says fork, you click on that. Then you want to say, go here and clone the repo down. Okay, and I switched to Linux here. I hope you don't get confused by that. Okay, so we want to clone down your fork like this. So now what I'm going to do is go to the source. I'm going to make that same change. I'm going to change this to say hello. Now we go git status, git add, git commit, CI test, and then git push. Okay, now you can see CI test is started. It's going to build Ubuntu, Windows, and Mac OS. And while it's building, let's just talk about the actions file. So we have a build matrix. So that means run this code for Ubuntu, Windows, and Mac OS. Check out the code, grab Python, then grab conan. And then we also cache conan. So conan's going to build the GDNative libraries, and then we're going to cache it. So every build, you don't have to rebuild them. That's where we're going through CMake and conan, just so we can cache it here in the CI. Then we build it, so we just run the script here that was just calling, CMake build. And then we're going to upload the artifacts, which is the build result. And then we have this remove old artifacts after 10 minutes, because this stuff is free, okay? But you are limited. So you can only have, 1,000 compute minutes a month or something on your account. Okay, so the builds are finishing up now. Ubuntu is done. Now Mac OS is done. And by the way, this will also work on those new M1 machines. That is not supported by anyone else, anywhere else on the internet. That took me quite some effort to make that happen, so you're welcome. Okay, you can see now the build is finished, all green, and I get these zip files, and if I download those, inside is the, in the Windows, the DLL, in the Mac OS is the DLL-lib, and you drag that into your project like we were building locally before, and then use it. You could also set up GitHub Actions to, export your Godot project and do that all automatically. I'm not going to show you how to do that here, unless you want. Then, I guess leave a comment, show me how to do that. Another cool thing here I just want to show you is that if you notice, the build only took 10 seconds, and that's because Conan was magically caching the GDNative stuff. So Conan is able to cache all the GDNative libraries, which normally take 10 minutes to build, so you're taking 10 minutes off your build. Yeah, so that's the end of the CI. Yeah, so that's GDNative. In this game, Space Bandit, I do homemade physics. Here's the debug of it. You can see all the physics operations, the lines is some body moving and the white is the collision. And yeah, this wouldn't be possible in GDScript. It's just too much calculation needs to happen. Yeah, so that's GDNative. Ooh, I got a shotgun bonus. Okay, so that's GDNative. I hope that made sense to you, and you should definitely try it out, fork the project, give it a go yourself. And as always, if you want to support me, wishlist Space Bandit, I'll leave a link in the description. Thanks.